went, and that was it. But the times changed, and the numbers did not exactly add up. And I sucked in my pride, and I knew this was a fact by the time I was in my junior year in college. And I signed up for all of the interviews, and I only had 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And I was accepted at both of them, but I chose the Air Force because I felt that I had a duty to my country, and I wanted to travel, and I wanted to basically do a lot of things on my own. I used to work at Norton Air Force Base with a missile weapon system called the Peacekeeper Minuteman Silo, which is online today. And as a result of the Cold War, the majority of them were coming offline. And I transferred out to Los Angeles Air Force Base, where I am the chief logistician for launch vehicles. Everyone that goes out of the Cape, everyone that goes out of Vandenberg Air Force Base, everyone that launches out of Edwards has my name on the side. There is a team. We all work together as a team. Because in my business there are no individuals per se. The individuals are usually the generals, the colonels, the analysts, the investment analysts, the budget analysts, those that work at the Pentagon. But I'm down in the trenches working to launch this Titan 34C, or that the white model in the back is a Delta II. The gray model is a General Dynamics Atlas E. General Dynamics, by the way, is right down the street. They're over there, Plant 19. And I'm usually down there in the mornings a lot. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and drive up to my office in LA. I live out here in Oceanside. And I'm at my desk by 6 o'clock in the morning and on the phone, because the hours are back east are 3 hours ahead, and you have to be equal with them. If you look up in the sky, next week, March 9th, March 6th, March 9th, March 16th, the consecutive Wednesdays thereafter, there will be launches. There's a shuttle launch, there's a Delta launch, there's an Atlas launch on March the 16th. There's a Peacekeeper launch. There's a picture right there. Peacekeeper launch, which will go out of Vandenberg on March the 9th. I will be up at Vandenberg behind the console, hoping that that baby goes off. But that's a little bit about my work background. Let's go back a little bit and tell you how I got there. Back in '74, I graduated from high school, Sarah High School in Gardena, Catholic boys' school at the time, it's not co-ed. And I graduated, and I was accepted at Cal State Long Beach as an honor student, but I was in my rebellious years. And I was looking over there, and I had hair longer than those gentlemen over there. And I publicly criticized one of my professors, and I took a vacation for a semester. I came back after I learned my lesson, because there was always something called the golden rule. He who has the golden rule. And I kept my major. I was on probation for a semester, and then I got my act together and graduated with honors. Turned around and decided that this isn't what I wanted, so I went to University of California, Riverside, graduated from there also, and then got my Master's in Business Administration from Claremont Graduate School, Finance and Defense Policy. I find that my job is my hobby. It is the most fun thing that I do, because I don't do the same thing every day. Something is different every day. Today we're working with the Marine Corps to move some 4 boosters, which ironically are in you all's backyard. And I have to get them out of there because there's some people who are upset about that presence. So I'm going to have them moved out on Thursday, and they're going to go out to the Cape and go sit in the museum. Besides the launches, besides what I do, my real job is my family. My wife and my 6-year-old daughter in the 1st grade. I go fly fishing in Colorado and on the rivers because my job is also highly stressful. And regrettably, about 1989, I had a heart attack. And that was due to stress. And right now, I'm kind of nervous. But it was all due to trying to get a weapon system when I was the only project officer and I had something to prove that I could do it because I was the only one at the time. Now I've learned how to relax. I have learned how to be more patient. I have learned that in order to get things done, you have to work as a team member. The days of being an individual are gone. You see Michael Jordan's gone. Retired. I've learned that also, I learned this when I first came online, on board, that money isn't everything. It's usually the bane of your existence. I've also learned to love my fellow man, fellow woman a heck of a lot because they'll be around longer than I do. So what I want to impart to you, students, family members, is to take it easy and read and take in everything that you see, everything that you read, everything that you hear, and experience everything that you see, hear, and do. And learn from Dr. Waters, from the principals, from Ms. Williams, the gentleman that works for San Diego Gas and Electric, the gentleman that works for Payne Weber, and learn and listen and take it in because these are the 90s, and as in my Air Force, I do know for a fact that my Air Force is a one-mistake Air Force and you're out. I'm not sure what it is in the rest of the services, but I have watched people one day at their desk and the next day they're reassigned or retired. And learn it and do your best and take all of the science courses, take all of the English courses. I express that without the English major. Because you have to know how to write, you have to know how to read, you have to know how to comprehend. You also have to know one thing, and if there isn't anything else, you have to be able to get up in front of people and explain a defensive position in 3 minutes or less. I'll give you an example. When I first came on board back in March 31st of '86, I'm coming up on my 8th anniversary, I was given a project which had taken 6 years and it was still at a stalemate. My boss said, "Mike, here, take it, it's yours. Nobody else can do it, you do it, you try." It's okay. I just graduated with it. And I was on a staff program. I was on a staff office. I surrounded myself with competent experts in each area. And we all sat down and we brainstormed. We all sat down and we threw ideas out. I went to Hill Air Force Base and asked them one question: what is it you need? They told me in reply, I need some drawings so that I can get this system so I can re-procure it. However, the system that I didn't know at the time was already obsolete. So it was just an exercise. I got the drawings. I traveled back and forth to GT in Westboro and Boeing in Seattle. That's one of the other fun things in my job. I get to travel, be gone Monday, be gone. And I came home with a box of drawings about this big in a case and told the boss, here. Well, the Air Force Base that I was dealing with decided to throw a monkey wrench in and said, we want these catalogs. So I stopped and I said, listen, is there anything else you want? Well, we want to make sure it works. So that